What is going on, guys? Welcome back. I just got back from the Yamaha Tenere Trek up in Tamarack, Idaho, and I thought I'd do a little recap, talk about it a little bit, and talk about some changes, some things on the bike I'm going to do, and just kind of get caught up. I think Yamaha did a really great job. It was in a great spot. The routes are really good. We got a ride on the new BDR X route, the Hells Canyon route. I did a little short loop of that on the last day. Put my leg over the World Raid. It's so wide. It's so massive. It's a big bike. The first riding day was pretty brutal. Went out with a guy named Dave that I had recognized from the Dusty Lizard last year. And thankfully, he's a phenomenal rider. Like, he's in his 50s. He used to race and stuff. I'll throw some photos up. And him and I hit all three of the expert tracks on that day, and it beat the crap out of me. It beat the crap out of the bike. Show you some of the damage and stuff, but I'm glad I had the crash bars on the bike because it took a beating. But it was good. I really found my limits, found the bike's limits as far as how it's set up, and learned a lot from riding with him. The guy knows his stuff. Excited to do some more rides with him. Yamaha does not mess around when they say it's a difficult track. They mean it's a difficult track. In this part of Idaho, I mean, it's very vertical country. So you're either on a pretty decent gravel road or you are holding on for dear life, dealing with rocks and roots and bull dust. And I wish I would have had my GoPro for the rides. I had forgot my mounts and everything. I was going to do a whole video of the weekend and I blew it. The vendors were awesome. Camel ADV was there. Alpine Stars, Timber Moto, Recluse, Seat Concepts, SRC, Fly Racing. I'm forgetting a bunch of them. Dubai Wheels was there. Dubai USA. Did a raffle. Camel ADV put a ton of stuff in the raffle. High exhaust, rear racks, one finger clutches. They had these like the neck gaiters. One day he just put one of those in every spot on every table at the dinner, and you didn't have to do that, but it was pretty cool. I ended up winning the Camel ADV rear rack, so maybe that will fix our rear rack issue. So I think I'm just gonna throw this on and we'll rock this and see how it does. I had a pretty good crash, front end tucked. I went down head first. My helmet's beat to crap. The crash bars on that side are all messed up. Like I said, it tore the leg strap off my Moscow stuff. My shoulder was all skinned up. I had another fall like that later in the day on a downhill with the whole road was just these big size rocks that were deep. Once again, the front end tucked. I went down. INOV unit just blew right off there. So that's toast. The INOV unit's done. I was looking at the mount and I should have known it wouldn't hold up. It's just these two tiny little plastic tabs that go inside there, and it just, plastic on plastic, it just shattered it off. So the INOV unit's gone. I'm gonna throw the Chiggy back on there for now because it's rubber mounted. It locks in with metal. Like, it just, we'll deal with whatever connection issues we have. The other thing, I met Steve from DoubleTake mirrors. What a cool guy. He was telling me about all his travels through Colombia and South America and stuff, and on a 411. I think South America would be the next killer trip. He ended up kicking me some mirrors I should try out on the bike, and no strings or anything. He just said, try them out, tell me what you think. So I'll probably pull these dope mirrors off and run these double takes, see how they do. The Mitas Enduro Trail XT Plus rear tire. I know a lot of people love it and they get great results out of it. I got a little over 1,000 miles on it and it's trash. It's completely, I struggled because of that tire compared to the Moto Z Tractionator that I had on there. So that's going back on. I'll keep running the front for a little bit, adjust the forks, see how it is. Can't really say it's a twitchy, unsafe tire if I don't have my rake and trail set up properly. So I'll leave that one on. It's still got decent tread. So yeah, I guess the rest of the video, putting that rear rack on. First thing I'm gonna do is clean this thing up because it is hammered, filthy. Clean the bike up, get the bags off, spray everything down, get it prepped, and then tomorrow we'll pick back up and start doing some work on this thing. I did have the bike all cleaned up, and then the wife and I went for a ride, and now it's filthy, so we're gonna work on a dirty bike. I got some really hot water here, so I'm gonna get the air filter out, get the spare air filter, and get those soaking. And then we'll start on this rear rack and see about getting that put on. First, I'm gonna fix this because the bike looks like it's gonna fall over. I don't think I can run this with the rear rack. Maybe I can. I really miss this. Like, it's this plastic seat replacer. It's plastic with aluminum, but it has like these clips, and I just took these Timbermoto fender straps. They got these little black hooks to put over here so you can strap things down, and then the knobbling for my Moscow bags. I kind of miss this thing. It's been great. It's got a little spot for, you know, storing a little tool roll or something. You could actually fit a tube in there. There's enough space. Maybe a couple tubes. I don't know. We'll see if we can still run this, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if you can see it, but this is the one from TenereTrek. It is looking rough. Like, it got hammered. Kind of looks like I'm gonna have to drill into the plastic. Let's see, 60 to 90 minutes. All right, so first things first, I gotta get basically this whole rear end taken apart.
Flash of lightning. Whoa! Bring down Olympus just despite him. Clash of titans. No! It's just my two drunk neighbors fighting.
So I really like Camel ADV stuff, but a lot of it seems to be kind of destructive, like cutting off exhaust hangers and stuff. Anyway, these two bolts right here, I need to take the bolts out and then thread one of the bolts they gave me in here and hammer those PIM nuts up and out from inside there. So it should be interesting. All right, that was kind of easier than I thought to knock that up and out of there. You can see it's just a, you can see, let me focus so you can actually see. It has a slight shoulder on it, and it's just pressed down inside the bracket there, and that just gives the bolt from the underside something to catch on to. Let's get this other one out. Hopefully this one will be as friendly as the last one. There we go. All right, that step is complete. This that back on there. Now I got to drill 2 holes with 5/16 bit from the bottom up through. That one goes there. So, washer. This one goes up from underneath, screws into here, tightens back down. Just got to get the plastic out of the way, and then we'll get these in with a little Loctite. This has a hex-shaped side and a round side. We want the hex side facing up. I'm guessing we're going to need to grab this with a wrench. So that's why it has this hex head to it. That one's on. Wires. Plastic out of the way. Allen, the 17 mil. He didn't give a torque spec in the instructions, so I'm guessing snug is good. Kit comes with a really nice step bit, and it says to take it to 20 and see if it's big enough, and then you can take it farther if you need to. I'm guessing just big enough for those to go through. That makes sense. And we get that all done. Basically, all we have to do now is put the plastic back on and get all the fasteners back in position. I need that to catch. It's going to be a little bit of a pain. Oh, I made my own life difficult doing this out of order. These Artec plastics have kind of a specific order of assembly, kind of, to make your life easier. Everything kind of starts from the back and works its way forward in a kind of an overlapping, interlocking. I think I'm going to put the side racks back on too, the ones that go right here, because they kind of just go with the rack, and then when you're not running anything, it's just a nice little extra spot to grab from, for protection, strap to, stuff like that. So I may put those back on. We'll run it for a while. If I don't like it, I'll take them back off again. But for now, I think I'm going to put them on, and I think it'll all go together pretty nice. Hopefully that's not too long. And the short one. Yeah. Now get this other side bolted on, and then we'll start on this rack. through the rack, through there. Kit comes with these two little shorties. What am I doing? Make sure everything's centered up. Let's kind of stick up weird. Not sure how I feel about that. All right. Camel ADV rack is installed. A little dusty. But now we have a legit rear rack. So let's move on to the final piece. Like I had mentioned, I think mentioned earlier, when I was at the Tenere Trek, I ran into Steve, who is the owner of DoubleTake mirrors. Like I had mentioned, or I think I'd mentioned, when I was at the Tenere Trek, one of the vendors there was DoubleTake mirrors. And so I walked over and introduced myself and started talking to Steve, and he's a really cool guy. We talked about traveling, flying into Colombia, going through South America. The guy's done some really cool stuff, and mentioned to him that I'd love the opportunity to work with him at some point if something he wanted to do. I was upfront with him about my relationship with dope mirrors, which apparently some people are kind of weird about. I told him the dope guys have always been really good to me and stuff, but DoubleTake is DoubleTake. And so after talking for a while, he's like, you know what, man, let me just throw you some mirrors. And so he just gave me the exact setup that he runs on his T7. A little spot mirror on the handlebars, and then something I've never ran before, the round mirrors with the short arms. He says it keeps them nice and tucked in, and they're actually a lot better on the trail with really good visibility. So we're gonna throw those on and see how they work. If you don't know, most of the stuff I do is on Instagram. So we talked about Instagram content and stuff like that, and he said, you know, the main thing he's looking for in content is just stuff that's getting people out riding and just enjoying being on a bike. And I think that's pretty cool. I think we all get a little caught up in the everyone has to be Paul Torres, or everyone has to be on the lightest, fastest, most extreme ADV bike. And at the end of the day, it really is just about riding. So it was a really cool conversation. All that to say, we're going to put his mirrors on and see how they do. Just make sure this fits. It fits. But I'm guessing that drops down in there. That goes on there. And that screws on there. Seems pretty self-explanatory. And it comes with like a bunch of different size bolts depending on, you know, what you got running. Left-hand threads on that side. Lefty tighty. I rode with a guy up at the Tenere Trek, a Dave gentleman that I rode with, and he only rocks one mirror, actually. He doesn't even bother with the second one. But I kind of like having both. So the way that he has these built to lock and be able to adjust with one hand, they're not symmetrical. Kind of tapers on this side, a little wider on this side. And so it is orientation specific, how you put it on there. And what that allows it to do, I can't remember what it's called. It's a term for the patented thing. But what it allows you to do is loosen them and adjust them with one hand without them flopping all over the place, because it tightens one side more than the other. But he has them labeled. Really what you can just remember is the DoubleTake embossed on there goes up. But he has them labeled base end toward bike. It's kind of cool. I think they make an arm that's one size shorter than these, but these are pretty nice. The mirror on there. There you go. Round mirrors on a Tenere. Kind of weird, but also I kind of like it. Yeah, you can definitely loosen that with one hand. Oh, you just barely loosen it. And you can adjust it on the road and then retighten it with one hand without it flopping everywhere. That's kind of cool. But we'll get those adjusted. Let me get this other side on. The other thing he gave me that he runs on his rig is one of these little spot mirrors just on the handlebar. So when you're standing up, you can kind of just look down, see under your armpit next to your leg, and see whoever is behind you. And that one I just zip tied on. It's like pretty secure, but loose enough that if I need to adjust it up and down, I can kind of muscle it around. So that's pretty cool little addition. No, these ones are lefty loosey, righty tighty. Don't cross thread your mirrors. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You gotta use the right one. There's a bazillion bolts in the pack they give you just to make sure you get the one you need, so just making sure here. So that side goes down. That side goes up. Boom. Got mirrors. I just gotta get them, set up how I like them, but it's kind of cool. He gives you these to go with it. Thoughtful. Mirrors are on. Not bad, not bad. All right, there we go. Camel ADV rear rack on, which is freaking solid. I will give them that. Coming down through the top of the plastics there and bolting to the frame, like you really can't beat that. Put these back on. We'll see if I keep them. I kind of like them though. Protection. It's like having a little bit of a crash bar on the rear. And the DoubleTake mirrors. Try those out on the road. See how the round ones do. I kind of like them, but it could change. But all in all, I think it's pretty good. Still on the fence about crash bars. I don't know if I'll keep those or get rid of them, but I think the mirrors and that rack are a definite improvement to the bike. It is almost 9 o'clock on a school night. I gotta clean all this up. My wife is probably really wanting some help with the baby, so let me clean this up and get back in there, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget to let me know in the comments your thoughts on crash bars. Are you just risking important parts to save plastics, or are they actually worth having? Let me know.